Welcome to If I Could Change the World. We'll be looking at the incidents during the French Revolution leading to the horrific Reign of Terror. We'll look at the social and political implications and the hard facts and events, and how we can relate this to how we live today and the France that has been moulded from this, and both how the world has changed as a result of the Reign of Terror and how we continue to change. In 1789, Robespierre was elected as the president of the radical revolutionary group, the Jacobins. He was able to exercise his power and politic views in this group. He helped in writing the Declaration of the Rights of the Basic Man, which was then used as the French Constitution. In 1972, his position of spokesperson and figurehead of the radical Jacobins became cemented. In fact, that same year, Robespierre managed to bring Louis XVI to execution. In 1793, Robespierre was elected as the leader of the Committee of Public Safety, and he managed to institute the Reign of Terror. He was a very large radicalist, and therefore he executed any people who were against his revolution. With these policies taking place, over 17,000 people were executed, and in 11 months, 300,000 people were arrested, many purely on suspicion of possible anti-revolutionary thoughts. On the 14th of July, 1789, the National Assembly and other citizens raided the prison known as Bastille, on in fact the day known as Bastille Day in France today. They raided this prison in a search for arms in order to promote their revolution of the new constitution. After this, there was under great fear as people across France started to revolt against the king and queen. In fact, even the women were so disgusted at the food shortages that they invaded the palace of Versailles, where King Louis and his wife Marie Antoinette were staying. She was quoted to be eating cake when other women could not have the right of bread. After many laws passing through 1791, Louis XVI grew increasingly unpopular with the population of France. Therefore, he attempted to flee France into other European countries. However, he was found trying to flee and was forced to return. One of the most notorious things about the Reign of Terror in France was, of course, the guillotine. The guillotine was used to execute anyone in France and was implemented by Robespierre. The guillotine was designed by Dr. Joseph Guillotine in the late 18th century and is an apparatus used for beheading, like so. As I said before, there are no exceptions for who could be beheaded: nobles, commoners, even kings. It is estimated that 17,000 people were killed by this guillotine, and there was debate that the guillotine was actually not a swift death. There have been stories recorded by audience members recalling that heads sometimes would blink, speak, and move the eyes and mouth after death. Quite gruesome. After the brutal executions at the hands of Robespierre, his methods and motives were questioned by the citizens of France. However, this took bravery, as Robespierre was not one to hesitate at the execution of communists. Eventually, an opposition was formed against Robespierre, and on the 28th of July 1794, the Reign of Terror ended with the execution of him and 8 of his followers at the guillotine. The end of the terror was essentially carried out through a combination of both political dismissals and executions.